Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, welcome! E aí, gente, tudo bem? Sejam todos muito bem-vindos a mais uma live por aqui. Hoje é o nosso bate-papo 100% em inglês. Vamos falar em inglês, vamos fazer perguntas, vamos fazer respostas, vamos fazer tudo que a gente tem direito aqui nessa live. Sejam todos muito bem-vindos. Lembrando que hoje é a nossa última live antes da imersão Segredos da Fluência, aqui, direto de Los Angeles, na Califórnia. Então, se você ainda não se inscreveu, aproveite, clica aqui no link que tá na descrição para você garantir o seu lugar. Lembrando que depois não vai me falar que você não se inscreveu e que você perdeu, tá? Durante essa semana, a gente compartilhou vários materiais exclusivos de aquecimento. Se você não pegou, ainda dá tempo de pegar e estudar e se preparar para a nossa imersão. Serão 4 encontros, terça, quarta, quinta e domingo. Dia 2, 3, 4 e 7, ok? E eu te espero. Assim, coloca aqui no chat só para eu saber quem já garantiu a vaga. Só para eu saber. Quem já garantiu a vaga? Quem já está pronto para a imersão Segredos da Fluência 3.0? Seguinte, and today, as I mentioned, we're gonna speak only in English. The reason for that is that I want to show you that you can understand more than you think. Is that okay for you? I hope it is. All right, let's go. Lohana perguntou, como que eu posso falar eu cheguei em inglês? Você pode falar I'm here or I arrived. Oops, ok? Samuel perguntou se começou agora. Sim, começamos agora. Ok, guys? Hudson já colocou o raiozinho. Hudson já tá preparado para nossa imersão. Alright, guys. So, this is the thing. Qual que é a ideia para hoje? A ideia é nós interagirmos em inglês. Então, você vai enviar as suas perguntas, nós vamos conversar e eu vou fazer perguntas de volta para vocês. Ok? Is that okay for you? Yeah? I hope it is. I hope it is. Alright? So let's get started. What I would like to share at first is that when we think about English learning in general, we are afraid. And we are afraid not because we don't understand, it's because we don't know what comes afterwards. We don't know what we can expect, right? Então muitas vezes a gente não sabe o que esperar, então por isso que a gente fica com medo. And please let me know if I'm speaking too fast, because I don't want to speak too fast today. I want to breathe in, breathe out, and speak slowly. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. And please let me know, where are you watching this live stream from? Oh, that's so nice. Anderson is my student and he's in a different location today. Good evening, teacher. I'll try to watch it using the hotel's internet. I hope everything goes well there. Okay? Lohana perguntou, você não quer falar inglês mais rápido hoje? Exatamente. Today I want to go slower. And why do I want to go to speak slower today? Because this is part of the process. We first need to speak slowly and see the things that we want to say. We can think about the things that we want to say before communicating. For no reason, people believe that if you speak fast, you speak better, and that's a lie. If you're speaking slowly, that doesn't mean you speak bad. That doesn't mean that. It just means that you're controlling the speed of your voice and you have more intentionality while you're speaking. Okay? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the idea. Okay, guys? And I also want you to take this live stream, this class, and you can reapply what I'm doing. So, I'm talking to you. You can repeat my words, but you can also think how you would answer the questions that are going to pop up. Okay, we're going to have many different questions today that you can ask me, and I'm going to ask you. How would you answer these questions? And what are the questions that you would like to ask me? All right? Olha só, estamos falando diretamente com pessoas que já estão nos Estados Unidos. Pedro está em Virgínia. E olha só, Samuel está na Irlanda. Maravilha. Também temos, Sydney, Recife, Bahia, Pernambuco. Santa Catarina, Ceará, Goiás. All right. Do you guys know where I'm from? Do you know my state? Well, Maria is in San Francisco, California. That's very exciting. I'm here in California, right? I'm in the United States, but I wasn't born here. I'm in California, but I was born in Minas Gerais, right? I'm from Belo Horizonte. I am not from Los Angeles. I am living in Los Angeles. Okay? I've been living here for the past 5 years. I've been living here, but I'm not from here. This is just a subtle difference between these two things. Have you been to? Okay, when we say have you been, we say have you been to. Fernando também é meu aluno. Have you been to the SoFi Stadium in LA? Yes, I have. I know that there was a game, right? I don't know the name of the championship though. But I know that there was a Brazilian game there, right? Brazil against Costa Rica, maybe? Was that it? Brazil and Costa Rica on Monday? I didn't go there, but I've been to the SoFi Stadium before to watch Metallica last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year for the oh my goodness, what's the name of the tour? I forgot the name of the album, but it's their last album, you know? So I love the stadium is amazing, it's super huge. The infrastructure here in the US for events like these, it's just phenomenal. They're the kings and queens of entertainment. Lux Eterna, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. The Lux Eterna, that's the name of their album. Wait a second. Let's pause, breathe in, breathe out, and speak slower. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? That's amazing. I'm in Caruaru and my English has improved a lot. And I owe you a lot of this improvement to your channel. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, George. Thank you so much for sharing these thoughts. I'm glad to know that I could help you somehow through my videos. Okay. What do you guys would like to talk about today? What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about concerts? Do you want to talk about music? Do you want to talk about TV shows? Do you want to talk about life experiences? Do you want to, I don't know, talk about English learning? Lohana perguntou: você fala muito I'm gonna. O que que é isso? I'm gonna significa eu irei. I'm gonna é uma estrutura que a gente usa para o futuro. Okay? So, I'm gonna talk to her later. Eu vou falar com ela mais tarde. I'm gonna study English at 7 p.m. Eu vou estudar inglês às 7 horas da noite. Ok? Então, I'm gonna coloca a frase no futuro. Tem aula aqui no canal sobre isso, tá, Lohana? Você pode, na lupinha de pesquisa, dar uma olhadinha. Quer ver? I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. What do you think? Deixa eu mostrar para vocês como que faz isso, tá? So first thing you have to do, 2 seconds. Hold on. All right, let me share my screen with you guys. Here it is. This is my YouTube channel, right? So you are on my YouTube channel. What do you have to do? You have to click right here. Can you see this little thing? You click on it and then you type going to. And then you're going to see the class that I'm talking about will and going to. All right. There is also this one about gonna, wanna, gonna, gotta, which is pretty good as well. So you guys can use this tool to search for classes I have already recorded. Vinicius is saying that we should talk about TV shows, music as well, travel, music. Okay, ask me questions about them. So, like, according to what you want to talk about, ask me questions. Samuel said, let's talk about English learning, especially about listening. Well, we're doing it, kinda, right? One thing about English learning that we have to focus on is that we need to have more patience. Don't you guys agree? We need to have more patience. We live in an era that people are just way too frenzy. They're crazy. They are super energetic and they don't have a lot of patience for things. So we need to be aware of that because the process of learning anything takes time. And it's not because of me, it's not because of you, it's not your problem, it's not an issue that you have. It's just the process itself. For me, I'm going to take some time to learn Spanish. You're going to take some time to learn English, but it's a matter of practice. So it is the same happens with our listening. Listening is the same thing. We think that learning how to understand what people say in English takes just one attempt, one time, and it does not. You have to do it many times to get used to what you want to listen. And that's what I'm trying to speak a little bit slower with you today. Because I want you to understand me. And I want you to recognize all the patterns that I'm using, the words that I'm choosing. What do you think? And everything can be used as an strategy for answering your questions, for being more creative. What do you think, guys? I'm gonna seria o mesmo que going to. Seria. Okay? All right, let's see. What TV shows do you recommend me to improve my English? Well, what are the TV shows you could recommend to a friend of yours? Can you answer to this question, guys? Well, in my opinion, there are many different TV shows that we can use to improve our listening abilities, but not only listening, but also speaking and reading. Okay? I believe that it doesn't matter the type and the source of the material, of the content that we're going to use to study English, we can always improve the four abilities. This is something that I believe, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it next week during our event. All right. But to answer to your question, I believe that the best TV shows to learn and improve English are the ones that you can see yourself in their shoes. What do I mean by that? I mean that you need to see yourself doing the things that the characters are doing. I cannot see myself having any specific role when it comes to what's the name of the TV show? Game of Thrones, right? It's a different universe. It's an universe that doesn't exist. It was created. It's like a fantasy world. This is not applicable to your reality. This is not something that you can adapt and bring to your own life. So, these are the TV shows that you can watch for entertainment, but they are not the best ones to learn English, okay? They have a lot of proper names, their own names, different names, and even actions that are different. Harry Potter is a great example of movie, of course, which has the perfect balance between real life because they live common situations, but they also have the extraordinary and super fictional in in their fantasy world. All right. But I would suggest Friends, for example. I would suggest How I Met Your Mother, The Big Bang Theory, The Office. These are some of the TV shows that we can see ourselves in their shoes. This is what I like the most. Okay? And you, Vinny, what do you think are the best TV shows to watch to improve your listening and whatever ability related to English? Julio said, Camille, currently I'm studying with English with ChatGPT. Good for you, Julio. Good for you. It's good. It's a good tool. As we usually talk about artificial intelligence, we need to have the understanding that they are a tool, which means ChatGPT has a functionality just as this pen right here. Okay? Of course, as long as humankind evolves and technology develops, we're going to have different professions and things are going to change. But for me, Chat GPT it's just another tool, which means that we can use according to our needs. And I think it's a great tool. And I would even like to share with you guys a sentence and a quote that I fell in love with. Can I? Just let me find it first. I think it's here. Okay, I found it. Ready? Let me share my screen with you. Okay, here it is. Well, guys, can you read this sentence? Let's do it together, shall we? I don't know if you can see it properly. Okay, now you can. There you go. Okay, this is good. Education is learning to use the tools which the race has found indispensable. I have posted a little quote and a little reflection on this on my Instagram. If you're not there, please follow me there. Let me add it to the screen right here. Follow me on Instagram. Because this is what I saw. Can you see that I was in a auditorium, right? This is an auditorium. And I was at UCLA, which is like one of the best universities in the world. Because a friend of mine graduated from dentistry school. So I was there for her graduation. And this is the sentence that they have in one of the most special auditoriums in the United States. Internet was invented in this university. Okay, was created. So I got very reflective through this picture, and that's it. I think our conversation about ChatGPT, it's totally related to this sentence. Education is learning to use the tools which the race has found indispensable. All right. So if we can have more knowledge, why would we avoid it? If we can learn more, why would we avoid it? We shouldn't. So if we have a powerful tool such as ChatGPT, we might as well just use it. But we need to be aware that it's just a tool. Okay? Let me check. Which the amazing city you have visited? In this case, we can say, what amazing city have you visited in the US? I have visited not many cities in the US still. I want to travel more around here, but I need more time. But anyways, I really like LA, Los Angeles, the city that I currently live in. Let me space it out. So I live in LA and I really like it. Sorry, excuse me. I really like it. I've been to New York City as well, and I love it. I've been to Las Vegas, and I think it's super fun, right? It's a different city. It's not as Los Angeles or New York, even though I believe and I see, of course, that cities, they have different vibes. They have even different goals as big communities. New York is completely different from Los Angeles, not because they're not big, not because they don't have a lot of money, but they focus on different things. And I perceive it like all of us can perceive that when we go to different cities, but Las Vegas is one of a kind. I've been to Miami, I've been to Orlando as well, San Francisco, and I like them all. And I could live in all of them. No worries. No problem at all. Let me see. Yeah, about English learning, we need effort and patience with the journey. That's right. My favorite singer is Dua Lipa, and I love her music. Yes, I really like Dua Lipa. All her albums, actually, they're pretty good, and they're great to learn English as well. So if you guys are not familiar with Dua Lipa, or if you just, heard her voice and listened to her music just once, I think you should give it a second try. Okay? I started studying English with ChatGPT last Monday night. Excellent. And how are you doing with it, Ramon? Are you feeling good about it? Are you enjoying the process? How is your experience? Actually, how has your experience been? How do you prefer to study with it? Listening to you speaking English, totally in English is motivation for me. Ah, that's lovely. I'm glad to hear that and to read that actually, Wagner. I'm glad because sometimes all we need is to see that it's possible. We need to see and we need to hear. We need to listen to people speaking in English to know that that's real, that that's possible. I would like you guys to remember that I wasn't born in a family that spoke English. My parents are not Americans. My parents are Mineiros. My parents are super Brazilian, and I am super Brazilian. I love my Brazilian roots. I like to be Brazilian. I like our culture. I like many aspects of us as a people. And that's it. We just need a little bit of effort and patience and dedication, as Duda mentioned. I love to practice, or I love practicing my listening, watching Friends, the best TV show ever. Good job. I can understand you like 90%, but when I need to form a phrase in my mind, it's so hard. Valento, let me tell you, have you ever tried to speak to yourself slowly? Have you ever tried, did you try to speak to yourself out loud just as I'm doing right now? I know that forming phrases is hard. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it next week, okay? I'm going to teach you how easy it is to form, to put a sentence together. I'm going to teach you how to do that in your routine. You're going to start learning English in a way that you never thought it was possible. Learning English is simple, guys. I swear. You just need to have the right directions, the right guidance. You're going to get there. What do you think about practicing English with ChatGPT, like having a conversation? I think it's great. If you can do it, why not? I mean, as I said, we're talking about, once again, friends, once again, we're talking about tools. If you have this tool, why wouldn't you use it? This is better than nothing, don't you think? Teacher, como fala arrasar? Uma palavra que tá bem na moda é slay. She slay. That's how we say it. But you can say like good job, or you're doing fine, you're doing great, you're doing fantastic. Did you make any video about how to use ChatGPT to learn English? No, I haven't. In fact, this is a lesson that I want to record, you know, to my students. So let's see. I've been playing a video game and reading a Bible. Both are in Old English. Fernando, so then I would consider changing. No, I mean, the Bible, we all know that there are many different versions of the Bible, right? Different translations, better saying, I'm sorry, better translations. So if I were you, if I were in your shoes, you know what I would do? I would study English through the Bible through a more modern translation. For example, as the New International Version. It's better because the vocabulary is the one we use nowadays. I watch TV Kids with my daughter. This is a good option to improve my listening, my speak. For sure, Samuel. One thing is a fact. It doesn't matter if we're in contact with materials and videos and lessons and cartoons for kids. What truly matters is how we use them, how we practice through them. I watched a movie, I think what's Woodpecker. You know Woodpecker? Let me show you guys. I have a lot of screens, so I'm lost. Sorry. Yeah, woodpecker. Woodpecker is the bird. It's the bird, but I don't. I'm not talking only about the bird. I'm talking about the TV show. Let me share with you guys. This guy is the bird is woodpecker, but his name is Woodpecker. Woody Woodpecker. And I watched this movie with two girls, two little girls, and I was impressed by how good movies for kids are simply excellent to learn the language. So please, if you have, if it's your son, if it's your daughter, if it's your niece, your nephew, it doesn't matter. If you have any kid around, play some stuff for them in English and join them. Try to practice with them. Okay. I like 2.5 Men. I like it too, but I mean, for some people might be a little bit of a little bit extreme because they don't say like good things at all times, right? But it's a good one too. I've watched it a lot. A lot. How to add more flavors and the speaking skills. Oh my goodness, I lost you. Okay. Could I use synonyms for this? Of course. In English, we call it to spice things up. How can I spice things up when it comes to my speaking skills or my speaking abilities? And there are many different techniques for that. In fact, can I share a book with you guys? I'm gonna get a book. Eu vou pegar um livro para explicar o que eu vou falar agora. Just one second. It's right here. One second. I'm back. I'm fast. I'm fast. So, when it comes to conversation, guys, one thing that we need to understand is that when we're learning a language, we're learning how to communicate the language. Do you agree with me? We're learning how to communicate the words and the phrases and the structures, the expressions we know. But the fact is that conversation and communication is for everybody. So there are techniques for learning how to talk to other people. And when we are talking about our speaking ability, we have the wrong impression that speaking is saying words, right? That speaking is putting sentences together. No. When you're speaking out loud, that means you're speaking out loud. When you are reading out loud, you're reading out loud. You're practicing your muscles and everything that is involved in your speaking ability. But we speak so we can talk. And when we talk, we need to expect somebody answering you back. You need to expect someone answering you back. And this is the movement that we need to work on. When we're building sentences, putting words together to make a sense of them, this is creating sentences. For example, we are talking because I'm answering to your questions, you're answering to what I am saying, you're answering my questions as well. So this is a conversation. But there is nobody here with me. The pace would be completely different. The timing, the speed, the interaction, the dynamics, everything would be different. Okay? So when we're talking about spicing things up, adding a little bit of extra flavor in our speaking skills, we need to remind ourselves that we're speaking to communicate with other people. And this is challenging, right? But synonyms is a way of improving your vocabulary. Okay? Of course, I used many words that are kind of cousins and sisters and brothers. They're very close, they're very similar. But this is a technique regarding vocabulary, not speaking only. Okay? Teacher, let's see. I have an advice that I use to improve my speak. I'm using ChatGPT to talk when there is no one to talk. Perfect. As I said, if that's working, that's perfect. But remember, there are limitations. Okay? And even when we're talking to other people, there are limitations. People have they have their personal taste, they have their interest. I cannot change somebody's interest, but we can talk about different things. But let's say that, I don't know, we have a band that we like a lot in common. We're going to talk everything about this band. We're going to talk about their albums, their songs, their tours, their merch, their members, their, I don't know, stories from the past. But we're going to reach a certain limit in our conversation. And if we want to go further, if we want to learn how to talk to different people, we need to talk to people that think differently from us. People who have different opinions, people who have different beliefs. This is how we expand our communication skills as well. So, as you mentioned, ChatGPT, there is a limitation because it's not going to answer you back in the way that you're expecting or the most human way. Let's put it like that. Okay? That's it. Significa é isso? Exatamente. Do you know Canada? I love this country. Leandro, do you live in Canada or do you have plans to visit Canada? I haven't been to Canada yet, okay? It's one of the places that I want to travel to and that I want to visit the national parks. There are many different hiking trails and outdoor activities to do there, mainly in spring and summer, maybe the beginning of autumn, but not in winter, right? Because winter in Canada is super drastic and hard. So that's not a plan. But I would love to go to Canada. We have some friends there. Let's see, maybe next year. I think that I wouldn't be able to go to Canada this year because we already have plans. But maybe next year. Who knows? Learning is powerful. It literally can change your life. It can indeed. I wanted to visit LA because of GTA 5. Lol. Laughing out loud. Well, yeah. I mean, of course I've watched many movies with LA as a scenario, right? As the city where the characters live in. But I fell in love with the city playing GTA, but I played the fourth, not the fifth. The fifth, I think I didn't like much. I don't know why, but I think I stopped playing GTA, which was my first time playing it, and the last time playing it, it was the fourth. So you can go to the Santa Monica Pier, you can see the Capitol Records building. You go to Las Vegas, you go to San Fran, you go everywhere. You are from which country? Is that another situation to talk? Where are you from? You are from which country? Well, it is. Maybe not the most common one, but you can, if you understood, that's good. But I wouldn't ask like this. I would ask, where are you from? Okay? But you can hear that. Or from what country are you from? From what country? What country? It's my first live stream here and I can understand everything you say. I'm so happy. I'm happy for you, Eliseo. Congratulations for that. Can you imagine if every single week you could listen to this amount of English and even more? And better than that, if you could speak just as I am doing right now. Guys, I'm here to remind you, if I did it, if I could make it, if I am here talking to you in English, that's because you can do it too. Okay? Pretty good. My experience has been great. My first day, I made so many mistakes, but the second day, I could talk with it well. Excellent. We're talking about Chat GPT here. GPT. Ooh, good job, Brendo. This lesson is very important for self-taught students. I'm learning English for 6 months by myself. Good job. Good job. Wow, it is said I'm a Cuban who loves English, the English language, but now I'm living in Brazil, specifically in Minas Gerais. That's lovely. Welcome to Minas Gerais. Brendo said, for me, speaking is more difficult than reading and listening. Well, Brendo, I bet, okay, that you're not alone. Anybody else is feeling the same? Do you feel that you have more, like you are at ease, you can understand easily while when you read and when you listen compared to your ability to speak to other people? Do you think that speaking is harder? I used ChatGPT once, but I didn't like it. Do I have to try it again? I would give it a I would give it a second try. Okay, it's a very good tool. We just need to learn how to use it in the most proper way. There is a word I hear a lot on TV shows, and it's ma'am. Mhm. I did a little research and found that it's used to refer to to older women. That's true. It's madam, madam. Quando a gente fala senhora, né, em inglês a gente pode falar madam, que é tipo madame, mas não é traduzido como ai, madame, não, é tipo de senhora. E aí a contração disso seria ma'am. Ma'am. Can I assist you, ma'am? Ma'am. A ma'am, termina com M, então os lábios encostam. However, I've also heard it used for young women. Can you explain a little bit about this word? Yes, assim como eu falei, this is a way of being sorry. This is a way of being more polite. People call me ma'am here or lady. Okay. Usually they're going to refer to you as ma'am if they see that if you're married, probably, or if you're older, but you can listen on this expression being used for younger ladies, younger women in general as well. Let me see. How many you guys are asking so many good questions. There you go. I listen to Toronto radio news every day. Is it a good strategy? Yes, it's a good strategy. Guys, the first time I stepped my feet into the into this country, the thing that I was most surprised with was with the radio stations. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I can turn on the radio and listen to English. I was so like happy and I don't know, I was so happy I couldn't even grasp the fact that this was truly happening. It was so great. And we do have this tool. There is a Earth Radio, World Radio, Garden, Radio Garden. Guys, Radio Garden. Pay attention to what I'm about to show you. Oh my god. Look. Type radio garden. Okay, radio garden. Close with the okay. And you can choose radios from all over the globe. Let me see if I can play anything here. Let's see, let's see. Are you ready? Okay. This is loud. I don't think you want to. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can listen to it, but I'm listening to uh, VPN radio. I don't know. Let's choose another one. This is in Spanish because in LA we have a lot of people who speak Spanish. There you go. Can you see that it's a different radio station from Inglewood? I but Radio Garden. Let me edit here. Radio Garden. Here. You have to type Radio Garden on your browser, and then you're gonna find this website, and you can listen to radio stations from all over the globe. Exciting, huh? All right. Okay, I was on this question. All right. I can form sentences in my mind and speak normally, some sentences, but sometimes I think I'm speaking wrongly and I crash. Okay. So, Fernando, when this happens, remember you have to slow down, slow it down, breathe, and make sure you're doing your best. You are going to make mistakes. During this live stream right now, I made some mistakes and I corrected myself, but I've been speaking the language for quite a while, right? I teach English. This year, I'm going to celebrate 8 years teaching English. So, one of the tools that you can use to correct yourself is listening to what you're saying. And the only two, not the only, but the two easier, the two easiest ways would be to just recording your voice on WhatsApp or on your voice recorder on your phone, or recording a video. So when you go back and when you listen to yourself, you're probably going to notice some mistakes, and that's okay. If I go back on this live stream, I'll be able to point out some of my mistakes. But that doesn't mean I don't know the language. That doesn't mean I cannot communicate. That doesn't mean I'm not able. That I can't. So, when you see yourself making a mistake in the language, just know that that's normal and that's expected. You're not doing something that wasn't expected from you. You're not doing something that is a problem. You're just going through your learning process. And remember, this is not your first language. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Mistakes are going to happen every day, all the time. What about that? We just have to learn how to deal with it. Italy is asking if I like Angra. Angra, of course I do. Actually, I have a lot of classes for the band. Because of their last album, I recorded a lot of lessons about their songs. So let me show you guys. We even have a playlist for them right here. Can you see? So it's a playlist dedicated only for Angra songs. There you go. So, Cycles of Pain, Right into the Storm, Tide of Changes, Gods of the World, Carry On, Here in the Now. We have a little bit of everything. My favorite band is AC/DC. I love them so much. I love them too. I love their songs. They're very energetic. They're pure rock and roll, right? Let me see. Another question, teacher. Are there any podcasts to listen to every day to improve our listening and comprehension skills? Well, Hamon, you can listen to many people saying many different things. I like podcasts just because it's a very similar format to what we have right here, right now, which is the audio is pretty good. You can listen to every single syllable I'm pronouncing because of the quality of what I'm promoting. But the point is, when you have things in good quality all the time, your listening and your comprehension will depend on that. And that's one part, just one significant part of what truly developing your listening ability means. And why am I saying this? Because the English of real life, every everyday life English has a little bit of noise. It has a little bit of like a dog barking on the background, a child screaming and shouting and crying. I don't know. So we cannot practice our listening ability only with podcast audios because this is part of what we can do. Okay. So now, with that said, there are many different podcasts. I like listening to people who talk about self development, medicine, health, and science in general. These are the topics that I like the most. So, but I wouldn't be able to share their names because I don't know some of them. Like their names, I don't know. They just appear on my how can I say, on my feed on YouTube. Maybe I can make a video about it. What do you think? I can make a video showing all the podcasts that I listen to. But in general, as a big picture, that's the answer I can give you. Have you been to Texas? I love the southern accent. I've been to Texas just for connection flights. But I've never like been there for a long time. I'm gonna have a different experience very soon. You guys are gonna see it very soon. What is your plans? What are your plans for your vacations for this year? Um, let's talk about vacations. I usually don't have any specific time to be off, right? As long as I work with social media, I kind of can't do that, you know? Or only if I work twice as much as I currently work, then I can save some content to be on vacations, right? But so I don't. The only thing that I do is that I go to Brazil to spend a month with my family, but I still work during this time. I'm not 100% off. Of course, I try to work less, but working less is still working. So I'm not 100% on vacations, as I said. But my plan this year is to go to Brazil. I'm going to spend some time with my mother in Minas Gerais and half of the time with my dad in São Paulo. Probably I'll also travel to the countryside of Minas Gerais to visit the other part of my family. And these are my plans. Um, yeah. And I'll do something else with my students as well during this time. You're going to see, guys. Speaking is my greatness weakness, but I'll get there. Yes, of course you will. And the first step you already took, right? Eu acho que. Deixa eu falar aqui rapidinho em português. Eu acho que o mais importante você já fez, tá, Ramon? E todo mundo que tá acompanhando aqui. Que é, gente, falar inglês é um processo, tá? Então, igual ele falou, é a minha fraqueza mais forte. E geralmente vai ser onde o calo vai mais apertar, né? Porque a gente tá se expondo, a gente não quer passar de ridículo, a gente não quer errar. Mas o fato é que é o nosso ego que atrapalha o nosso processo de aprendizagem. Se você entende que você está aprendendo e que errar faz parte, você vai estar muito mais aberto a tentar, arriscar e se comunicar. O erro faz parte da jornada. Ele vai ser a sua companhia. basicamente. Então é entender que ele tem esse lugar e que ele não é inexistente. O erro não é inexistente. Ele não tem como se tornar inexistente. Porque uma vez ou outra a gente pode se confundir, a gente pode trocar, a gente pode estar pensando no que a gente vai falar, e aí no presente momento a gente acaba trocando as palavras e tá tudo bem. Mas o grande papo que a gente tem que sempre lembrar é que tem que falar. E hoje, Ramon e todo mundo que sente que essa é a principal dificuldade, o que você tem que fazer? Tem que falar mais. Não é outra coisa que você tem que fazer. Se essa é a sua fraqueza, se essa é a sua maior dificuldade, se essa é a sua maior frustração no momento, não é fugindo dela que a gente vai resolver esse problema. It's facing it. We gotta face the problem. We gotta face the fear. We gotta face the shyness. We gotta face the challenges. This is the way of overcoming whatever it is that is bothering us, or even whatever is our greatest weakness of all times. It doesn't matter. We just need to face them. Once we face them, we overcome them. We become stronger. And by becoming stronger, you're willing even more to make more mistakes and overcome them and learn from your mistakes. Don't forget about it. All right? Você já ouviu de algum nativo aí que você tem sotaque? Sabe uma coisa interessante? As pessoas não apontam o seu sotaque pra você. Elas não falam: "Ah, você tem sotaque, você não fala bem inglês". Elas falam: "Ah, escutei o seu sotaque, de onde que você é?". This is the reaction that your accent causes on people. This is the consequence of having an accent. I'm pretty proud of being Brazilian from a different nationality and living here in the US. This is not for everybody, and I recognize that. So I'm very proud to take the steps that I take and having the accent that I have. People are curious about us. People want to know, they want to learn. They're just like, "Oh my goodness. Okay, you speak a different language. Tell me more about yourself." And let me tell you, this is not a problem for like getting a job as well. Think about the big techs. How many of their C positions aren't occupied and aren't not occupied, I'm sorry, aren't with immigrants? Tell us. Tell us. Think about Google, think about Apple, think about Facebook, think about all of them. You have immigrants everywhere. Think about it. Let me see. Let me check. I'm learning to play the drums with Bruno Valverde. That's exciting, Ricardo. I'm happy for you. The best anger song for me, it's Rebirth. Rebirth is a masterpiece. Good job. All right. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. I totally agree. If you're not trying, you're not making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. Guess what? You're stuck. You're going to be in the same place forever just because you're afraid of making mistakes. Guys, really, you have to watch the videos that I make on this channel. Okay? They're for free. Dive into them. Really, watch everything that I make because I make with 100% of my heart. And whatever I share because of something. There is always a meaning behind something that I'm sharing. I'm not just saying words, I'm not just saying things for you to spend your time with any kind of entertainment. I'm here to help you somehow. And one of the last videos that I posted, I talked about it, which is, okay, let me show you guys. Let's go back to this screen so I can show you properly. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. Good. All right. Can you see this video right here? Look at its title. Let me remove your comment. Oh, you cannot see it. Okay. The title is Supere o medo e a vergonha de falar inglês de uma vez por todas. If you haven't watched this movie, you must, all right? You must watch that video. Do we have an agreement? Vocês têm que assistir esse vídeo, tá, gente? Que eu fiz sobre supere o medo de falar supere o medo e a vergonha de falar inglês de uma vez por todas. Tem conselhos muito importantes, inclusive um deles vou falar em português, porque eu sei que muita gente tem dificuldade com isso, então eu quero ter certeza que tá todo mundo entendendo, que é a regra 10, 10, 10. Qual que é o real impacto desse seu medo em 10 minutos, 10 semanas e 10 anos? Se você fizer esse medo aqui, se você fizer esse erro aqui, qual que é o impacto disso em 10 minutos? Será que as pessoas vão perceber? Qual que será que é o impacto? Talvez você tenha que se explicar, ou talvez a pessoa vai te corrigir, ou talvez você possa até mesmo encontrar outra forma, você pode se corrigir, né. Agora em 10 semanas, nem você vai lembrar desse erro que você cometeu, que você fez, por que que você acha que as outras pessoas vão lembrar? As pessoas estão muito ocupadas lidando com os problemas delas, e a gente acha que tá todo mundo olhando para o nosso erro. Não estão, não estão. Em 10 anos, você nem vai lembrar às vezes daquele dia. Mas talvez você lembre, porque você deu o passo, você arriscou e você teve uma ótima oportunidade através daquele movimento, daquela ação. So think about the 10, 10, 10 rule. 10 minutes, what's the real impact of what you do or your mistake in 10 minutes, 10 weeks, and 10 years? Don't worry. Não, nunca recebi proposta de publi para cremes dentais. Vamos lá, Colgate, waiting for you. Ai, ai. Deixa eu ver. Eu que tô começando do zero, ouvir a conversa vai me ajudar mesmo assim? Bruno, eu estava falando em inglês mais devagar justamente pra isso, né, pra mostrar que, mesmo às vezes a gente achando que a gente sabe pouco, a gente entende, né. Então, qual que é o movimento que a gente tem que fazer? Não é todo o conteúdo, tá. Por exemplo, eu não vou falar pra você que, deixa eu pensar aqui em alguma coisa. Por exemplo, sabe aquelas coletivas de imprensa que tem logo depois do jogo, assim que o atleta sai de quadra, de campo? Geralmente eles estão afobados, ou eles falam muito rápido, ou eles estão muito cansados, enfim. Geralmente essa comunicação mais rápida não é o que eu indico para quem tá começando. Mas como a live de hoje teve essa ideia de falar um pouquinho mais devagar, provavelmente muitas pessoas aqui, na verdade, falaram que estavam entendendo bastante, mesmo achando que não iriam conseguir, né. Então essa que é a ideia. Fears and challenges are part of our success. That's it. Ooh, fear is an illusion, but the danger is real. All right. Let me see if you guys have anything else. Don't you think that age gets in the way of learning? Você não acha que a idade atrapalha a aprender? Alberto, posso ser muito sincera com você? Eu tenho alunas de 65, eu tenho alunas de eu acho que eu tenho uma aluna que tá quase fazendo 70. E aí? O que que a gente faz com essa informação? Eu vou pensar que a minha idade de aprender inglês já passou, ou eu quero aprender inglês para me desafiar como pessoa, eu quero aprender inglês porque os meus netos estão aprendendo inglês, ou os meus filhos estão aprendendo inglês, eu quero aprender o idioma para poder viajar quando eu for para fora, eu quero aprender inglês para fazer um curso desse cara que eu acompanho na internet, gosto super dele, quero aprender mais dele, quero ler um livro dele em inglês. A gente sempre tem que lembrar qual que é o objetivo inicial, quer dizer, o objetivo final. Por que que a gente tá aprendendo inglês? Onde que nós queremos chegar com isso? Esse que tem que ser o seu fuel, né, que tem que ser o seu combustível, o nosso combustível. Então assim, eu posso falar que uma pessoa de 70 anos aprende como uma criança de 5? Eu jamais posso falar isso. Mas uma pessoa de 70 anos pode ter um objetivo muito mais específico do porquê aprender um idioma do que uma criança de 5. Então, cada idade, cada fase, cada momento de vida vai fazer com que a gente se questione sobre as nossas habilidades, as nossas capacidades. Quando a gente é adolescente, a gente tá perdido, a gente não sabe o que que vai fazer da faculdade. mas a gente sabe o que a gente quer como pessoa, a gente tem muita atitude. Depois você chega nos 30 e você começa a se perguntar sobre outras coisas, né. Então cada idade você vai ter os seus questionamentos e as suas dúvidas e as suas incertezas, mas o fato é, aonde você quer chegar com isso? É só este o questionamento que a gente precisa ter, porque senão a gente sempre vai ter um motivo para não fazer. Você concorda comigo, Alberto? Vocês concordam comigo, pessoal? A gente sempre vai ter um motivo para não fazer. Eu posso falar agora que eu não posso aprender inglês porque meu filho tá com 2 anos, ou eu, não sei, comecei um trabalho novo, ou eu, sei lá, independente do momento, gente, do desafio, a gente sempre tem um motivo pra não estudar. A gente sempre tem outras coisas acontecendo na vida. Mas por que que você vai escolher o inglês? Eu te convido a fazer essa reflexão, tá, pra você já chegar pronto pra nossa imersão. 2 a 7 de julho, semana que vem, a gente vai ter 4 aulas que eu quero te mostrar quais são os segredos da fluência, independentemente da sua idade, independentemente de onde você mora. Se você mora no Brasil, se você mora fora do Brasil, se você mora no interior, na capital, se você mora na praia ou nas montanhas. Eu não Pra mim, você não importa qual que é o seu ponto de partida. Eu quero te mostrar que você é capaz de alcançar fluência no inglês, independentemente, inclusive, da sua idade. Se você tiver direcionamento, se você souber o que fazer nos seus estudos, você vai chegar lá, tá bom? Olha que legal, Van falou: "Desculpa a mensagem em português, mas iniciei meus estudos no início do mês. Uma montanha muito grande para subir, mas é muito importante para mim." Van, é uma delícia ler essa sua mensagem. Olha o final dessa mensagem: "Mas é muito importante para mim." Uma montanha muito grande para subir, mas é muito importante para mim. Por que que o inglês é importante para vocês hoje, gente? Let's talk about that. Why is English important to you? Why? Let me see. It's a long way to the top if you wanna be fluent. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll, baby. Muito bem. This 10-10-10 rule isn't only about learning a language, it's for life. It is. That's the point. For some reason, guys, I don't know what happens. We get English and we put it in the box and we think that that's it. We think that English is learning structures, learning vocabulary, learning how to listen, learning how to speak. Boy, no. Learning English is learning how to face your darkest fears, your darkest side. You know Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd? Guess what? It's the mystery, it's the uncertain, is what makes us afraid. We gotta face it, otherwise we won't, get to the other side. Come on. Alright, guys, that's the thing, I gotta go. A gente já bateu 1 hora aqui de live e eu tenho outros compromissos pra fazer. Hoje o dia sabe aquele dia loucura? Eu tive uma reunião de 4 horas, depois eu entrei em uma reunião de meia hora, aí eu fui fazer meu almoço, almocei, depois uma amiga minha me ligou com uma urgência, eu ajudei ela e depois agora a gente começou a live, tipo assim, what is my experience in today's hours? It has been crazy. Bom, eu gostaria que vocês ficassem com essa reflexão toda aí sobre o processo de aprendizagem. Lembrem-se que o inglês não é diferente de nada outra coisa que a gente aprende nessa vida. Um dia você também já teve medo de andar de bicicleta, se hoje você anda de bicicleta. Um dia você já teve medo de nadar, se hoje você nada. Fato é, cada um tem um ponto de partida. Se você sabe que é importante desenvolver no idioma, aprender um novo idioma e alcançar todos os objetivos que você pode, sendo através do seu trabalho, melhores oportunidades de emprego, melhores salários, viajar para o exterior, ou não, você não precisa nem sair do país. Eu sempre falo, você não precisa sair do Brasil para aprender inglês. Eu não vim para os Estados Unidos e aprendi inglês aqui. Eu já era professora do Brasil. O que isso significa? Não tô falando que você tem que se tornar professor, eu tô falando que você tem como se desenvolver da onde você está nesse momento, por conta das ferramentas que a gente tem acesso. Pois é. Então, lembrem-se disso. É um dia por cada, um pouquinho todo dia. Não são 20 tijolos por dia. É um tijolo. 2, 3 no máximo. É o que você consegue carregar. É através da sua rotina que você vai chegar na fluência, tá? You are an amazing teacher. The way you encourage your students is awesome. Yay! For me, English is not only about being fluent anymore, it's about the best version of myself, the best version of myself, about courage, fears, and conquerors. Yeah, come on, I love the class. Awesome, I'm glad to hear that. I love this class. Thank you so much, Teacher Camille. Amazing. And the most, yeah, Metallica sings in English. So if you're a Metallica fan, that's the most important reason why learning English. Ok, guys, thank you so much. Galera, não se esqueçam, o primeiro link aqui embaixo é para você se inscrever na nossa imersão. Serão 4 aulas totalmente gratuitas para você dive deep and dive well in English. Pra gente se aprofundar sobre a fluência no inglês, eu quero te mostrar que você é capaz de alcançar a fluência no idioma. As experiências que você já teve no passado, elas têm o lugar delas. No passado, a gente vai escrever uma nova jornada a partir de agora e eu convido vocês, tá bom? A gente começa na terça-feira. As lives já estão salvas aqui no YouTube, tá? Então você pode clicar aí no meu perfil, clica, vai na parte de live, ó. Deixa eu até mostrar pra vocês. Eu gosto de mostrar como é que faz as coisas. Espera aí, vamos lá? Deixa eu mostrar aqui pra vocês rapidinho. Antes da gente terminar, olha só. Estão prestando atenção? Cadê minha tela? Cadê minha tela? Achei minha tela. Olha só, você clicou no meu canal, é isso aqui que vai abrir, certo? Você vai vir aqui, ó, live. Live. Você clica, as aulas já estão disponíveis aqui. E aí você vai clicar aqui, ó, no Notify Me, para você receber a notificação dos lembretes das aulas, tá? Mas é muito importante que vocês se inscrevam na imersão, no link que tá aqui embaixo na descrição desse vídeo, para vocês receberem os materiais. Essas são só as aulas, a gente tem material de preparação, que a gente já tá enviando essa semana para vocês, e na semana da imersão, semana que vem, a partir de terça-feira, vocês também vão ter material exclusivo que a gente vai mandar, tá? Então é muito importante vocês fazerem direitinho. Olha que legal, o Amorim falou, já tá na Austrália há 2 anos e convive com os nativos diariamente, mas é sempre bom ouvir coisas diferentes. Que bom, fico feliz que você tenha gostado. Ok, guys? Thank you so much and I see you tomorrow. Amanhã eu vou fazer uma live lá pelo meu Instagram e eu espero vocês, tá? Eu não sei se eu vou fazer 2 lives ou uma só, mas eu vou avisar vocês também pelo canal do Telegram e fique de olho lá no meu Instagram também, tá? Mais uma vez, @CamilleVilela. Espero vocês, guys. Thank you so much. Bye!